Question. When you're crafting a character, what's the first thing you think of? Appearance? Personality? Backstory? Voice? Likes and dislikes? In many cases, the thing you rarely think of is, what kind of music would play when this character appears? You know, except for this case, because I'm pretty sure you all read the title. Oh yeah, this is basically going to be a video about the creative process, a how-to video, rather than an analysis. What can I say? I like talking about the creative process. Also, this is my channel. Speaking of, story time! So I've always enjoyed listening to the soundtracks of movies, TV shows, and video games. I don't know why, perhaps something about it spoke to me more than what one would consider traditional music. But that's not important. What is important is that one of the soundtracks I listened to was Street Fighter, specifically the fourth one. Something that I found super interesting about the soundtrack is that, while there were tracks for the stages, as expected, each character had their own theme as well. And these weren't half-baked either. They weren't just varying melodies played with the same instruments. No, these were themes that embodied everything you needed to know about these characters. Except how to play them. They were brutal, they were strong, they were sadistic, they were noble. These were tracks that further refined these characters. So, being the impressionable little shit that I was inspired to work this into everything. Now, it's an integral part of how I build characters in my own writing. Yeah, I write stuff. Who would have seen that coming? However, that's the thing though. It's only a part of building characters. If you think you could just slap on any song and a character will fully form from it, you're kind of setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. This feels like a given, but it kind of needs to be said. While music can help serve as inspiration and occasionally cause the initial conception of a character, it is not the best starting point. Music is a pathway to a beautiful new world full of mood and personality, but like all paths, if you travel on one without any sense of direction, it's unlikely you'll find what you're actually looking for. So in most cases, you're going to want to already have the faint idea of a character. And I'm certain that you already do. Everyone does. And then the search begins. When beginning your search, there's nothing wrong with starting with what feels familiar. Making a ninja-type character? Well, let's dig up some Naruto and TMNT. Working on a pure, innocent soul? Let's find something friendly and bouncy. Developing a youthful ball of energy? Let's find something with a good beat. Maybe one that has a beat so fast it sounds like a flatline! I already mentioned them in this video, so Street Fighter and really most Capcom games in general are a good place to start. Like, Capcom really likes doing this, and they tend to do it well. Mostly. Capcom and most other fighting games are often more likely to give their characters their own themes than other genres, so it's natural to find yourself starting your search with one of them. However, there is a certain thing to watch out for. See, the goal with this music is finding something that will get you into the headspace of your character. When it comes to more heroic characters, their themes will often do just that and reflect more of who they are. Ken's theme, for example, is just filled with his charisma, charm, and style. So with heroes, it tends to be much easier to get into their headspace. Villains, however, tend to have themes that instead convey the kind of threat and danger they pose. Judy's theme from the same game highlights her maliciousness, sadism, and the fear she inspires, along with a few interludes of instability. Now, Capcom isn't the only one that does this. In fact, this tends to be the rule more than it is the exception. So for villains, you might have to dig a little more to really find the right song. But for some immediate examples of media that offers more personality for the villains, the soundtracks of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance and No More Heroes are pretty good at this, as the songs accompanying these boss battles give a lot of insight to these characters you're slashing apart and whatever dreams for America they might have had.
Don't fuck with this, Senator!
However, it's important to remember that you are not restricted to just character themes. Nor are you restricted to just the medium or genre that you're creating for or interested in. For example, if you were looking for a song to suit a neurotic and ADD-riddled computer genius hacker for a film, you might actually find more luck with the music that accompanies, say, a mind-bending video game puzzle than the theme of whatever movie character you thought would fit those descriptors the best. You may find that your character might be better described by a piece meant to embody an environment or location. Or you'll find that a blood-soaked, battle-hardened warrior might have better luck being expanded upon with soft, melancholy instrumentals instead of the intense battle music most would go to first. Of course, that example is completely hypothetical and the footage used is completely coincidental. And hey, if you're not into listening to this kind of music, you can take this into a different direction and instead use this via figuring out what kind of music your character will listen to. Which is something people have been doing for years, though in many cases it's to help convey the story being told. But here, you can really think about the kind of music that would get a character out of bed in the morning, what kind of music would send them into a blind rage, and what kind of music they would listen to after a rough day. It's important not to confine your characters to whatever music you find. They are not defined by it. Rather, they should be expanded by it. Again, it's all about headspace and allowing yourself to get a better grasp of the character you're trying to create. Sometimes you might be like, oh no, I can't decide what choice this character should make. And then you'll slap on their theme and be like, oh, they'd make this choice. Music is very powerful when it comes to expanding and distinguishing characters from one another. Expanding on that, doing this can also help distinguish characters that would seem similar on a conceptual level. For example, let's say you were to find yourself tackling, 4 different flavors of Robin. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne. If you were to ignore where they end up, how do you differentiate them as you write or design them? At a first glance, it'd be pretty easy to latch onto differences in personality, but that sometimes isn't as clear-cut. While Tim Drake is often touted as the tech whiz of the bunch, there are iterations where Dick Grayson's pretty tech-savvy too. And while Jason Todd has the reputation of being the angry, lethal, rude, and occasionally reckless Robin, those same traits could apply to Damian. Yeah, but one of them uses fucking guns! Shut up. The point is that the music will help you draw those lines between the characters and help them stand apart from one another without having to resort to flanderization or exaggerating certain parts of their personality. Music is a beautiful thing and an incredible tool should you let it guide you. Who knows? Maybe this little exercise in creativity will introduce you to new kinds of music and artists. Either way, put on your headphones, slap on some tunes, dive into whoever your character is, and I'll catch you on the flip side.